hi guys and welcome to the video. So the beer I'm brewing today is a single hop IPA. This is the day before in the evening when I'm preparing the water. I just filter it out to get rid of all the chlorines and I just add it and let it sit overnight. Once the Grainfather is full, I just program the delayed heating to start quite early, so when I wake up I'm ready to mash in. As you can see, I use this eyeglass to actually check out how much water I need for my strike water. Shining a light down through the hole does help you see the transparent water. The following morning and everything's ready and set to go. As usual, I just add in my grains into the strike water. In goes the grains, and I'll just show you a bit more of this. Well, actually no. Just show you the two pipes that you can have with the Grainfather. The one on the right is the one that comes with the machine, and the other one is the micro pipe, which can be used for smaller batch sizes. If you want to brew a 25 litre or 30 litre batch, I'd suggest you use the optional micro pipe. Otherwise, the one that's provided with the machine will work perfectly with a 50 litre batch. Mashing in here. Everything looks fine. I start quite early in the morning, so then I can finish the brew day before midday. Top plate on. Overflow valve. And just plug in the recirculation hose. Lid on and we're all set to go. As you can see, the Grainfather kind of overshot my first mash temperature. I was quite skeptic because it did heat up to 71, but it didn't fall back down to 67. But here's a time lapse that shows you how it sort of dances around the selected temperature. In the beginning it's sort of not too good, but it gets better towards the end of the brew. A nice dark color left here. Getting ready now to start the sparge. So I won't show you guys how I got the grain basket up, but it's a two-person job. You really need somebody to give you a hand to lift it up. There is a way, but I won't show you because you have to kind of stand on a ladder and hoist it up. Sparging now. As you can see, there's always a little bit of grain residue on top. You can notice that the overflow pipe is standing up quite high because actually the top plates sank down quite a lot actually. The sparging water was about 24 litres and my container can only hold about 18, so I added sort of with the kettle some warm water as I went on with the sparging. Here, as you can see, the basket is kind of too heavy to tilt it on my own, so I just used the shovel to take out all these grains patiently. I did put on the protection pipe that stops grains falling back into the wort. At the end there I can just scrape the grains into the bucket and we're done. So coming up to boil here, just stirred it around. Is it ready? Well, should we start the timer? Oh yeah, it's starting to boil. Let's go. Yeah, a bit of a mess on the floor, but you know, you just have to clean it up after. Always like to purge my counterfoil chiller with some Star San and then I just rinse it with cold water. In go the hops. I always like to give a little stir to make sure that they, you know, don't stick on the sides and that they blend into the boil. Some Irish moss because I'm not looking for some hazy IPA. And then some yeast nutrient too, just to make them nice and happy so they really start. As you can see, the kitchen's quite full with two fermenters because I'm going to split them up. More on this later. So yeah, all set up, ready to collect the hot water. In go the flame out hops. Little stir and get ready to do a sort of a first run with hot water through the counterflow chiller. I did try and recuperate the first, 1 deciliter that comes out, so I don't just chuck in some cold water into the boil. Let this run for about 5 minutes just to sterilize the whole system, and then just get all this hot water that I'll later use for my cleaning. So I transfer into one fermenter at a time, and once it's finished I switch on to the next one. And to know when it's full, I actually just look on the side glass on the side, and I sort of calculated how much volume I had to put in the first fermenter. Once everything's out of the boiler, you can see that you're left with a nice hop cake. So you know the drill, just scrape up that hoppy goodness. Oh, a big lump here coming out. Looks kind of squishy and gluey. At the end you sort of can see what the plate looks like at the bottom. You can lift it up and you can also see that the hops sort of stick on the plate and there's some that get through. But no big deal, just rinse it in your sink, both sides of course. So I always like to get the most part of the trub out and all of the hops before I actually put some cleaning solution in. And you can just rinse into the Grainfather and you can pump it all out into the sink. I do this several times and scrub it down, and once the water's nice and transparent, I know I've got rid of most of the solids. I do use the brush at the bottom here to stop the vortex, and so the pump doesn't suck in too much air. Another little trick here. So adding in the hot water here, just getting ready to actually put in the cleaning product. The product I'm using is kind of active chlorine. It's very powerful, so you have to dilute it sort of 1%. It's really a dangerous product, so you should wear gloves and glasses. You don't want this stuff on your skin or in your eyes. Because as you can see, I've cleaned it out quite well before adding all this product in. Now it's just a question of cleaning in place and recirculating this cleaning product for several, I'd say about 20 minutes. As usual, I rinse everything in the Grainfather and then just pump out the water once I'm finished. So then I put everything in one by one, once they're nice and dry. I like to keep things nice and tidy so it's easy to, put them away. Because the unit is quite big, so you need some place to store it, and it's quite compact when you can put everything nicely and cozy on your trolley. So now down in the cellar, I've pitched in the yeast. As you can see, the bottom of the fermenter is at 20 on both sides, which is quite good. I'm just using my glycol chiller to, do the last 2-3 degrees to cool the wort. And at the end, you can see here on my Raspberry Pi, which has both tilts and both fermenters, I got a lucky same number. So, brew day finished. If you made it to this part of the video, thanks for watching. The next one will probably be a lager, where I'll try and show you some more of my working process and how I do lagers. I hope to see you in another one. See you soon. Bye.